North Korea's ruling dynasty has always been defined by fear, forged by geopolitical tensions and internal threats. For decades, assassination plots and coup attempts, both real and rumored, have haunted the Kim family. Kim Il-sung, North Korea's founder and Kim Jong Un's grandfather, endured several attempts on his life, including a bomb plot reportedly orchestrated by South Korean agents in the 1960s. Kim Jong-il's father, took extreme measures in response to these dangers. Refusing air travel, he relied on armored trains with bulletproof walls and heavy security. In the year 2001, Kim Jong-il famously traveled to Moscow on a 10-day, 6,000-mile train journey, solidifying the family's association with rail travel. When Kim Jong-un took power in 2011, he inherited not just a nation under sanctions, but also a legacy of mistrust and caution. However, unlike his father, Kim often chooses to fly, signaling a significant generational change. His use of air travel reflects a calculated effort to blend modernity with security. By projecting an image of invincibility, he reinforces the narrative that he is untouchable, a leader capable of outmaneuvering any threat. This mindset, rooted in historical fears, shapes every aspect of his travel, from his Soviet-era aircraft to his baffling pre-flight security routines. But how does this deep-seated paranoia influence Kim Jong-un's travel decisions today? Kim Jong-un's private jet, Cha-mai-1, or Ilyushin Il Sixty-Two M, captures attention with its striking design. Its white exterior bears North Korea's name, its national flag, and a red star encircled on the tail. But here's the real question. Why does one of the world's most security-conscious leaders still rely on an aircraft first designed in the 1960s? The Ilyushin Il Sixty-Two M is a narrow-body, long-range jet developed by the Soviet Union in the 1960s. At its debut, it was the largest jet in the world, rivaling iconic American planes like the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC-8. Though now considered outdated, a small number of these aircraft remain in use globally. Kim Jong-un first used this plane for international travel when he met Chinese President Xi Jinping. However, the decision to stick with a decades-old Soviet model, despite the availability of modern advanced aircraft, raises intriguing questions. Could it be a matter of security, a calculated strategy, or even a symbolic choice? To grasp this aircraft's importance, let's delve into its design and history. Initially developed to replace the long-range Tupolev turboprop planes, the Ilyushin Il Sixty-Two M introduced key advantages. Known for its strong directional stability during turbulence and quieter cruising, it became a favorite among airlines and state leaders alike. Over 30 countries operated this model, with more than 80 units exported worldwide. Heads of state from 14 nations even used it for official travel. However, its operational costs became a major drawback, particularly compared to newer, more fuel-efficient jets. After the global financial crisis of 2008, the use of the Ilyushin Il Sixty-Two M declined dramatically. Despite modern upgrades that extended its lifespan to 50 years and improved efficiency, it now serves mostly niche roles, including its unique role as North Korea's presidential plane, MKS-2. The aircraft measures approximately 53 meters in length, with a wingspan of 43 meters and a height of 12 meters. It can carry up to 186 passengers, supported by a 5-person crew. Its cruising speed reaches around 560 miles per hour, and it can travel up to 6,200 miles with a 10-ton load. North Korea operates 4 of these jets under its state airline, Air Koryo. 2 are for commercial use, while the other 2 are reserved for government purposes. Still, the exact date this aircraft was converted into Kim Jong-un's private plane remains a mystery. Beyond its historical value, what hidden features lie within Kim Jong-un's private jet? Before we proceed, I have a quick 10-second favor to ask. If you're enjoying this content, please press the notification bell and hit the subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Your support fuels this channel, and in return, we'll keep delivering the best stories just for you. Deal? Kim Jong-un uses 2 Ilyushin Il-Sixty-Two M aircraft, both called Chami, to transport himself, high-ranking officials, and VIP guests. Operated by Air Koryo staff, these planes symbolize North Korea's emphasis on centralized control. But their real intrigue lies in their unique features. Once among the most advanced jets of its era, the Ilyushin 62 boasts specialized designs, including a conference room and rest areas for officials. The crew is trained to provide top-tier service, and a secure communication system enables uninterrupted contact with Moscow and other key cities, even in flight. Some reports suggest Kim Jong Un's VIP aircraft rivals the scale and luxury of the United States Air Force One. Photos reveal a lavish interior, complete with large white leather seats and polished wooden tables. When first introduced, the Ilyushin 62 was considered ahead of its time, featuring an automatic flight control system capable of operating without pilot input. Post-1991, the aircraft received several upgrades, such as GPS navigation and automatic radio transponders. However, despite these improvements, the Ilyushin 62 M lags behind the Boeing 747 used by the American president. The latter boasts advanced security systems, a presidential suite, a fully equipped medical bay, a restaurant-grade kitchen, and a host of cutting-edge defense capabilities. The Ilyushin does have its drawbacks. One significant issue is its outdated cargo system, which lacks modern roller transfers. This requires manual loading of baggage, slowing down the aircraft's preparation time. What's your take on these security measures? Do they showcase innovation or highlight North Korea's challenges in keeping up with modern aviation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Air Koryo, North Korea's national airline, is often referred to as the world's only one-star airline. Yet for those curious about this isolated nation, it provides a rare glimpse into North Korea's unique mix of nostalgia and self-reliance. Established in 1955, Air Koryo once linked North Korea to cities across Eastern Europe, Asia, and the former Soviet Union, symbolizing Cold War-era alliances. Over time, as international sanctions increased, its routes shrank dramatically. Today, the airline offers only a handful of flights to Beijing, Shenyang, and Vladivostok. These limited connections reflect North Korea's tightly controlled relationship with the outside world. To aviation enthusiasts, Air Koryo is a living piece of history. Its fleet includes some of the last operating Soviet-era aircraft, such as the Ilyushin Il 62 and Tupolev Tu-20 F4. Flying on these carefully maintained planes offers a rare and nostalgic experience. One aviation fan described it as a dream for anyone fascinated by Soviet-era aviation. Air Koryo's low rating and outdated fleet stem from restrictions preventing the purchase of modern, Western-made aircraft. Forced to rely on older Soviet models, the airline symbolizes North Korea's philosophy of self-reliance. It stands as a testament to the country's resilience, operating outside global aviation norms. Every flight is more than transportation. It's a journey into the political heartbeat of North Korea, where each takeoff showcases the country's enduring independence. North Korea's choice to stick with the Ilyushin Il 62 M aligns perfectly with its philosophy of self-reliance, known as Juche. But what does this outdated Soviet-era jet reveal about Kim Jong Un's strategy? This aircraft is more than just a means of transportation. It's a declaration of independence. By continuing to use the Il 62 M, North Korea avoids purchasing modern planes from Western manufacturers, reflecting its strong resistance to Western influence. The decision also underscores the country's historical ties with the former Soviet Union, a bond shaped by shared ideology and technology. Security is another key factor behind this choice. Unlike modern jets equipped with advanced electronic systems, older planes like the Il 62 M are less vulnerable to cyber attacks, which are an increasing concern in aviation. While the exact details are classified, it's clear that this strategic consideration aligns with Kim Jong Un's focus on safeguarding his mobility. So, international sanctions further restrict North Korea's options. These sanctions prevent the purchase of modern aircraft or even the spare parts needed to maintain them. How does North Korea keep the Il 62 M operational? The answer lies in domestic expertise. North Korean engineers have mastered the art of maintaining and refurbishing this plane, keeping it airworthy without relying on foreign assistance. The Il 62 M also carries symbolic significance. Its imposing size and distinctive design convey authority and prestige, enhancing Kim Jong Un's image as a leader rooted in tradition. The aircraft, named Cha-Mayun, takes its title from the goshawk, North Korea's national bird, a symbol of strength and resilience. Economically, operating an older aircraft makes sense for a nation under heavy sanctions. The costs of maintaining the Il-62 M are much lower than acquiring and running a modern jet. Decades of experience with Soviet-era technology allow North Korea to avoid the high expenses associated with advanced Western aviation systems. Lastly, the Il-62 M is one of the largest aircraft in North Korea's fleet, offering the range and capacity needed for Kim Jong Un's rare but highly publicized international trips. While this plane might appear outdated to outsiders, for North Korea, it serves as both a practical tool and a powerful symbol of its ideology. If you were in Kim Jong Un's position, would you prioritize maintaining an older plane to symbolize independence, or would you risk relying on foreign systems to adopt modern technology? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For Kim Jong Un, security extends far beyond protecting his plane. It's about weaving a web of confusion to thwart anyone trying to track him. North Korea employs an unusual strategy, rarely used by other world leaders: deploying decoy aircraft. Whenever Kim travels, multiple identical planes take off at the same time, each flying a different route. This intentional misdirection leaves potential adversaries, including foreign intelligence agencies, scrambling to identify which plane actually carries the North Korean leader. Imagine a foreign intelligence agency tracking 3 identical planes. One heads east, another west, and the third flies to an undisclosed destination. With no clear information, it becomes nearly impossible to determine which plane to follow. Every flight Kim takes is cloaked in secrecy. Travel schedules are often falsified, flight paths are changed at the last minute, and no detail is overlooked. Even members of Kim's inner circle are often kept in the dark about his precise movements. While these measures might seem excessive, in a regime where survival depends on maintaining absolute control, such precautions are seen as essential. Most importantly, Kim prides himself on not making errors. No detail slips past him. The use of decoys in older aircraft paints a complex picture of Kim Jong Un's leadership. On one hand, it highlights his resourcefulness in adapting to the constraints of international sanctions. On the other hand, it exposes the deep-rooted paranoia that shapes his rule. Interestingly, there are moments when Kim deviates from tradition. What led him to swap his trusted Soviet-era aircraft for a foreign Boeing 747 during one of his most high-profile trips? When North Korean leader Kim Jong Un traveled to Singapore in June of 2018 to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump, he made an unusual choice. Instead of using his customary aircraft, the Cha-Mayun, a Soviet-era Ilyushin Il Sixty-two, Kim opted for an Air China Boeing 747. Why would one of the world's most secretive leaders entrust his travel to a foreign airline, particularly one closely tied to China? The Ilyushin Il Sixty-two, capable of flying more than 6,000 miles, could have easily handled the roughly 3,000-mile trip from Pyongyang to Singapore. Yet the Air China 747, a plane frequently used by Chinese Premier Li Qiang, departed Pyongyang on June 10 under the guise of a flight bound for Beijing. Midway through the flight, however, its call sign abruptly changed, and the plane rerouted directly to Singapore without stopping in Beijing. This sudden shift in plans caught the attention of many, highlighting the high level of coordination between North Korea and China. Was this merely a logistical decision, or a calculated show of their diplomatic ties? China's foreign ministry later confirmed that the aircraft was provided at North Korea's request. This confirmed the idea that Kim Jong Un prioritized safety and practicality over North Korea's usual emphasis on symbolic self-reliance. This surprising choice of aircraft raises an intriguing question. How do leaders like Kim Jong Un balance the need for security with the importance of projecting strength and independence? By choosing a Chinese plane, Kim not only avoided potential mechanical issues with his own aging fleet, but also demonstrated a rare willingness to step away from tradition. Before Kim Jong Un's plane ever takes off, it undergoes one of the most exhaustive security inspections imaginable. Every inch of the aircraft is meticulously examined to eliminate any chance of sabotage. This isn't a simple surface check. It's an intensive process that involves dismantling seats, panels, and even hidden compartments. Advanced equipment scans for explosives, listening devices, and any threats that could endanger the leader. Each part of the plane is checked, double-checked, and then inspected a third time to ensure nothing is overlooked. Once in the air, the plane becomes a fortress in the sky. Only a select group of fiercely loyal crew members is permitted on board. These individuals undergo rigorous background checks and are under constant surveillance, even when not working. Their unwavering loyalty is a non-negotiable requirement, and their every action is closely monitored to ensure strict compliance. This tightly controlled environment prevents any unauthorized access to the plane or its passengers. The crew's role goes beyond flying the aircraft. They are also the first line of defense against any potential threats. The onboard security doesn't end with the crew. The plane itself is believed to feature reinforced sections, bulletproof materials, and advanced communication systems. These features enable Kim Jong Un to maintain constant contact with his government and military, even at cruising altitude. Yet despite these measures, the underlying atmosphere is one of distrust. Every precaution reflects a mindset that danger could be waiting at any moment. For Kim Jong Un, even the smallest oversight could lead to disastrous consequences, leaving no room for error. Did you know that Kim Jong Un's travel plans involve some of the most unconventional security measures in the world? His choice of aircraft, the Ilyushin Il Sixty-Two M, sparks fascinating questions. Aviation experts believe this Soviet-era plane can't fly more than 3,000 kilometers with a full load without stopping to refuel. With the distance between Pyongyang and Singapore spanning roughly 4,500 kilometers, how does he manage such a trip? To overcome this limitation, Kim often chooses Air China instead of relying on the Il-62 MM. Why? First, the older plane requires a mid-journey refueling stop, making it impractical for long flights. Second, its outdated communication systems fail to meet the demands of modern travel. Many believe that switching planes is part of a sophisticated security strategy carefully planned by Kim Jong-un's guard forces. Adding to the intrigue is Air Koryo, North Korea's national airline, which operates the Il-62 MM frequently. Ranked as the world's worst airline, Air Koryo is infamous for its aging fleet, outdated interiors, and questionable safety standards. It's no surprise that Kim Jong-un might hesitate to fully rely on the airline, even though its crews operate his presidential plane. During the global pandemic, Air Koryo suspended all international flights for nearly 3 years as North Korea isolated itself from the world. Limited services to Beijing, Shenyang, and Vladivostok resumed only in late 2023. Today, the airline operates just 3 active aircraft, 2 Tupolev Tu-2004 jets and 1 Antonov AN-148. The operational status of older Soviet planes, including the Ilyushin Il-62 and the Tupolev Tu-154, remains uncertain. In 2016, North Korea held its first-ever international air show, the Wonsan Air Festival, offering a rare look into one of the world's most secretive nations. The event proudly displayed North Korea's aviation prowess. Air Koryo's classic Ilyushin Il-18 opened the show, followed by the Korean People's Army Air Force's powerful MiG-29. Each pass was a bold statement of strength and resolve. As jets roared overhead, helicopters hovered nearby, waiting for their moment to shine. Organizers revealed that they had studied footage of famous air shows, including the Royal International Air Tattoo and Farnborough, to ensure their debut was nothing short of extraordinary. The festival attracted an estimated 20,000 attendees, their excitement palpable with every engine's roar and beat of celebratory music. A standout moment came when 2 female pilots maneuvered a MiG-20 UA up through the sky, drawing cheers from the crowd. The show also featured a low pass by the iconic Ilyushin Il-62, followed by the heavy-duty Il-76, Il-70, and Il-24 helicopters, each leaving the air thick with the scent of jet fuel, a visceral reminder of aviation's raw power. However, the festival wasn't just about aircraft. It provided an unprecedented chance to observe North Korean life up close. For the first time, foreigners mingled freely with locals in a lively and almost celebratory atmosphere. Stalls filled with souvenirs, clothing, and toys gave visitors a surprising glimpse into the country's commerce and culture. If you could attend the Wonsan Air Festival and experience this unique mix of aviation spectacle and cultural interaction, what would intrigue you the most? The thrilling air displays, the chance to mingle with locals, or something else? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories. Air Koryo isn't just North Korea's national airline. It's a striking symbol of the country's resilience and independence in a world where it often stands apart. Operating with limited resources and vintage Soviet-era planes, this airline reflects North Korea's unique approach to aviation and its Juche philosophy, a steadfast commitment to self-reliance. While Air Koryo is frequently called the world's worst airline by international standards, have you ever wondered why it remains a source of pride for many North Koreans? Despite its challenges, Air Koryo stands as a testament to the country's determination to chart its own course, both economically and ideologically. Each flight is more than just transportation. It's a declaration of North Korea's resolve to resist external pressures and uphold its independence. From its rare in-flight entertainment to its carefully preserved, decades-old aircraft, Air Koryo exemplifies the North Korean spirit of doing things their way, regardless of how the rest of the world perceives them. Kim Jong Un's elaborate security measures, whether it's his armored train, Soviet-era aircraft, or the intricate web of misinformation surrounding his movements, are more than just defensive tactics. For Kim, leadership isn't only about ruling a country. It's about staying one step ahead of those who might want to see him fall. On one hand, these measures showcase his ability to adapt and innovate under immense geopolitical pressure. He has turned limited resources, like an aging Soviet-era plane, into effective tools for both propaganda and security. His use of misinformation and strategic alliances, such as relying on Chinese airspace, reflects a leader capable of outthinking potential adversaries. On the other hand, such extreme precautions also reveal a vulnerability. A truly confident leader might not feel the need for such exhaustive protections. Kim's reliance on secrecy and control underscores a fear that his enemies, both foreign and domestic, are always lurking close. His tactics also expose a striking paradox. Outwardly, these extreme security measures project an image of strength and invincibility. They send a clear message: I am untouchable. Yet beneath this surface lies a leader who trusts no one, not even those within his inner circle. In Kim's world, trust is a liability, and vulnerability is a weakness he cannot afford. This obsession with control extends beyond his personal safety. It permeates every facet of North Korean governance, from the country's rigid control of information to its carefully calculated interactions with the rest of the world. Kim's tactics are not just about self-preservation, they're about maintaining the illusion of an unassailable leader, even as cracks in that facade become harder to conceal. Understanding Kim's methods isn't just about analyzing his personal fears, it's about grasping the regime he represents. His actions reveal a leader who is both a master manipulator and a prisoner of his own obsession with control. For the outside world, this duality fosters unpredictability and risk. For Kim, it's the only way to survive. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.